Now you can listen to Wine and Dine Radio while shopping at the grocery store or your neighborhood wine merchant. Wine and Dine Radio can be heard using your wireless internet on your cell phone. You're listening to iWineRadio. iWineRadio is a production of Food Tastes Better with Wine on the web at iWineRadio.com. Hey guys, I thank you for listening to iWine Radio, and we are still the only wine channel on iTunes Radio. If you go look under iTunes Radio icon and scroll down to News and Talk Directory, and it's listed alphabetically, click on that and the stream comes up immediately. iWineRadio.com, where you can find links to individual guests. And if anyone's interested in advertising or becoming an underwriter or sponsor, please contact us at iWineRadio.com. We really, really appreciate your support. The more support we get, the more conversations I can have with fascinating people around the world, including you. If you have a story to tell that you'd like to share on iWine Radio, go to iWineRadio.com and contact us, and we'll go from there.
Hi, my name is Bruce Nichols of a Nichols worth of wine, and I am the Vintner Liaison for the Naples Winter Wine Festival, the oldest and largest charity wine auction in the world. And you can visit my website at nicholsworthofwine.com. Thank you.
We are very, very fortunate today to be able to speak with Bruce Nichols. We're continuing our conversation about the Naples Winter Wine Festival. And Bruce has been the consultant, and as the festival's vintner liaison, he works with the wine selection committee to identify and invite each year's features vintners and coordinates the wine selection and service. And his long-standing relationships in the wine industry enable him to bring in 10 of the top sommeliers in the country. I mean, he is, and this, he knows so many people. He runs the wine program in the United States for the National Young Sommelier Competition. So he is involved with all these people and is able to get them involved with the Naples Winter Wine Festival. He's joining us from Naples, Florida, and I thank you so very much for joining us. You started your life in California, right, Bruce?
Well, actually, I started my life in New Jersey. I like to think that I started my wine life in California, certainly back in the mid to late 70s.
And then in the 80s, you were director of restaurants for the Sheraton Hotels.
Yes, based in San Francisco, or I was based in San Francisco.
And then in the course of this time period, you also started a concept called a Nichols worth of wine, which was a publication and now is an internet-based online publication, which reviews wine, food, and travel. So it sounds like you have an awful lot of fun in your life, and certainly you're still going strong here in your retirement in Naples.
Well, yes. I like to tell people that I actually failed retirement. I tried when I first moved to Naples, but, I tell people I sat on the beach reading trashy novels for about 7 months and got real bored real quick. And I resurrected out of fun. I resurrected my website, A Nichols Worth of Wine, and started writing a little bit about wine. And I just discovered that Naples, obviously a very wine-centric community for a number of reasons, and certainly primarily because of the Naples Winter Wine Festival. So I got a lot of good response from it, and it's just blown up from there.
Why did you retire to Naples? Why did you move to Naples?
The weather.
Okay.
I live on the beach. I'm looking out at the Gulf, and it's 79 degrees, blue sky, and sunshine.
Wow.
And it's January, 28th, 29th, whatever today is.
Oh, my gosh. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So when I was talking to Bob Edwards, we discussed some of the top lots, which were so interesting, but I hadn't yet printed up some of the sports lots that were kind of in the works. So do you get involved with the lots, or as I understand it from reading your bio, you get involved with picking and choosing what kind of vintners you want to go after?
Well, yeah, and I get involved with the lots, but only with wine lots. I mean, that's where my focus is, and that's what I do for fun and for the festival.
So it's almost like a dream sort of a situation. Do you have a running list of people you haven't met or people you haven't worked with or you haven't seen in a long time, and that's a good excuse to get them to taste their wines and get to know them? And I mean, because that's what I would be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it does. Membership has its benefits, as they say. So, yeah, I do. In terms of, we have been very fortunate at Naples Winter Wine Festival. We are the largest in the world of the charity wine auction. So in terms of sheer dollars, I think Bob probably talked to you a little bit. I mean, last year we raised $12.2 million in 4 hours under the auction tent.
Wow.
And that is thanks in a very large part to some very, very generous people in the wine industry who supply us the wines basically at no cost. They come in, they do these fabulous dinners for us. So we couldn't do it without them.
Wow. We already discussed before we started recording that Champagne Krug is one of the featured wineries. Talk to us about featured wineries this year.
Well, yeah, Champagne Krug is our featured Champagne vintner, and then we have, I think there's a total of almost 30 wineries participating, or vintners participating, and we're covering just about all corners of the wine globe. From Burgundy, we've got Laurent Pronceau, which just happens to be one of my absolute favorite wines. Burgundy is a big wine for me, and out of Bordeaux, we have Chateau Canon. We have Marc Perrin from Beaucastel coming in.
Okay.
Italy, we have Pierre Antinori. Who else? We've got Dave Powell from Torbreck in Australia.
Wow.
And then in California, we have Schaefer, Colgan, Paul Hobbs, Tim Mondavi from Continuum. Kistler is the featured vintner this year. And Verite, which I mentioned, I don't know whether you know, Verite is a great wine. Sonoma Mountain Vineyards, but they have, they're the only winery to ever have been awarded 100 points from Parker for all of their wines. They basically make three wines, and all three of them in the 2007 vintage got 100 points. Wow. Perfect score. So,
I know Domaine Serene is involved from Oregon.
Domaine Serene has been here every year. The Evanstads, who have a home here in Naples, are also trustees of the Winter Wine Festival and have been for years.
Okay. Are there any other wineries from Oregon or anybody coming in from New York or Washington State?
No. You know, we have had some Washington vintners in the past. We've had other vintners from Oregon in the past. This year, it's Domaine Serene.
Okay.
New York State. You know, interesting. We've never had anything from New York State.
Well, they are remiss in not participating in that.
I would agree.
And actually, people from Virginia, I would think, would want to be involved in that as well, if nothing else, just to get their name out in front of the people who have money to be bidding on these lots.
Well, yeah, and it's an absolute privilege to belong to and to be a part of this, and the press that we are able to garner because of the wineries and the celebrity chefs that we bring in. So
talk to us about celebrity chefs. Who is participating this year?
Excuse me. Yes. Well, Julian Serrano from Las Vegas. Julian is with Picasso. He's a world-renowned chef. We have Hearth, Marco Canara from Hearth. Who else is here? Michael Anthony from Gramercy Tavern.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Tony Mantuano from Spiaggia in Chicago. Lee Hefner from Spago in Beverly Hills. Christopher Lee, Richard Reddington from Red in Napa Valley, and who else? Kelly Lykin from Vail, Colorado, Michael Tusk of Quince in San Francisco. I don't know if you've ever been there. What a great restaurant that is.
Wow.
And a newcomer for us, anyway, Barbara Lynch from Mentone in Boston, who is doing incredible things up there.
Wow. Now, rattle off for us names of the sommeliers that you're going to be working with at the event.
Yeah, someone asked me about this recently, and I said, this is truly a dream team for me. First of all, we've got probably, I think unquestionably, regarded as the top sommelier in America, and maybe, certainly in the top three of the world, Larry Stone. Larry Stone was the guy who put Charlie Trotter's wine program on the map. He was the sommelier at Charlie Trotter for a long time. Then went on to, he worked out of San Francisco at Rubicon, which was Francis Ford Coppola's thing. And subsequently, I think he owned some wineries.
I want to say Sarita.
An Evening Land project that he was doing something both in Burgundy and in Oregon, Willamette Valley.
Wow.
Yeah, so a couple of the others, Chris Miller from Spago works directly as the wine director for all of Spago's operations. I have Jill Samorsky, who is a young lady originally out of Washington, D.C., restaurant scene, is now the wine director at the Hotel Jerome in Aspen. Sir Lucero is from, I think the last time I talked to him, he was in, with Cyrus in Sonoma.
Okay.
But Sir Lucero is an interesting young guy. I think he's about 26, 27 years old. But he passed his Master Somm final exam on the first run, and he's only one of 14 people in the world to have ever done that.
Wow.
Yeah, so Sarah will be with us this year, and Michael Marr out of Boston, who worked at L'Espinasse up there, and Alex LaPratte, who is now with the name escapes me, out of New York.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, I brought 10 of the top somms from around the country, and they will work with our local somms here in Naples. And they come in, they talk about the wines, they do the vintner dinners where they'll actually pour the wines at dinner and do what they do best, talking about their love for all things wine.
High energy. Well, Bruce Nichols, it has been such a pleasure talking to you today on Wine and Dine, and if there is still, I'm sure there are still tickets available, and we will have links up for people. It's NaplesWineFestival.com, and if someone would like to check out his internet-based online publication, it's a NicholsWorthOfWine.com, and we will have links up as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Now you can listen to Wine and Dine Radio while shopping at the grocery store or your neighborhood wine merchant. Wine and Dine Radio can be heard using your wireless internet on your cell phone. You're listening to iWineRadio. iWineRadio is a production of Food Tastes Better with Wine, on the web at iWineRadio.com. Hey guys, I thank you for listening to iWine Radio, and we are still the only wine channel on iTunes Radio. If you go look under iTunes radio icon and scroll down to News and Talk Directory, and it's listed alphabetically, click on that and the stream comes up immediately. iWineRadio.com, where you can find links to individual guests. And if anyone's interested in advertising or becoming an underwriter or sponsor, please contact us at iWineRadio.com. We really, really appreciate your support. The more support we get, the more conversations I can have with fascinating people around the world. including you. If you have a story to tell that you'd like to share on iWine Radio, go to iWineRadio.com and contact us, and we'll go from there.